Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to talk about my 2023 planned Dungeons & Dragons campaign, Laser Sights and Last Rites. And specifically, that is going to be a campaign where each player plays a contract killer player character who, jet sets across the earth and executes contracts against chosen targets, right? So no genre elements. It's actually just 2023 IRL Earth is the setting, and your player character is a contract killer. It is going to be a 1-hour game session with campaigns spanning probably between 8 to as many as 24 sessions for the entire campaign. For each player, there will be multiple players, and at points these players will combine, right, and actually go against each other, player versus player. So what I want to talk about today is what is my palette when it comes to tangible campaign construction. All right, so I'm not one of these, hey, I'm Scott Garibay. I ain't some sad sack who's still running around doing intangible campaign composition, right? Now, I have sympathy and I have respect. I still have respect for dungeon masters who haven't moved to tangible campaign construction. I understand this is brand new, and it takes a lot of people time to catch up, right? Like, when you're on the bleeding edge, you got to wait for everybody else to catch up. But I still have, I'm kind of like, I'm giving you a little side eye if you're still doing intangible campaign composition. That's cute, right? So I've moved on to tangible campaign construction, right? So that means I have to form my tangible campaign construction palette, right? So if I'm doing tangible campaign construction, which of the six Dungeons & Dragons physical product lines am I going to use to do my tangible campaign construction? So first of all, what are the six? Plick Mick, Funko Pop, Lego, Yahtzee, Magic the Gathering, Creo, and Kid Robot. Those are the physical product lines that today have all officially connected to Dungeons & Dragons and can be used to build out, to do tangible campaign construction, where you tangibly construct essentially a platform to tell your Dungeons & Dragons story, right? This is the bleeding edge of Dungeons & Mastering right now, okay? And if you want to, talk about cute, intangible campaign composition material, you can go anywhere else on the internet where they're still putzing around with that old stuff. All right, so those are the six physical product lines that can be used for tangible campaign construction. What I am doing is integrated tangible campaign construction. I will be using 3 of the 6 platforms simultaneously to build Laser Sights and Last Rites, okay? So which of the 3 am I going to use? I am going to use Lego. I'm extremely excited about it. I purchased 2 copies of Everybody is Awesome. That is a minifig set. Its retail is generally $30. I got a deal on it. I got it for $25, and I bought 2 sets. And that has 11 monochrome minifigs that can be used to represent my non-player characters and my player characters. And my plan is to, since they are monochrome and they come in white, black, brown, pink, blue, purple, yellow, orange, there's a couple more colors on light blue, and I think that's it. That's close to all of them, right? One of the things, since they're monochrome, I'm actually going to pair the dice with each of the minifigs, right? So, and I'm thinking about creating a rules mechanic that, like, essentially attaches the dice to your chosen monochrome Lego minifig, all right? Also, so then in addition to that, I'm going to be using Magic the Gathering. Now, you're like, wait, Magic Gathering? How's that going to link to a Contract Killer? Well, we're still playing Dungeons and Dragons. So one of the things I do that I'm bringing right over for my Strixhaven campaign, which was an absolute fantastic success, are one player decks, right? However, the things that are going to be in player decks initially are simply the 5 chromatic dragons, okay, and the 5 pieces of land from from Magic Gathering, which are red, white, and blue. It's going to be island, plains, mountain, and then forest and swamp. Okay, which actually link directly to the IRL aspects of real life, of the IRL Earth setting, and I'm going to use those to advance the characters. So I don't use milestone. So I'm advancing. So most people have abandoned at this point actual XP leveling and have moved to milestone leveling. What I use is Dungeons and Dragons. So I literally hand out dragons, right? And then I hand out a dungeon map card for Magic the Gathering, and then you have Dungeons and Dragons. And with that, you can purchase inspiration at any time. But if you get a full set of all 5 dragons, that gives you a chance to level. Okay, and so I actually just give out these physical cards, and then that gives me 5 milestones, and say, okay, you did something good, you did something good, you did something good. You have 5 of them. You have a complete set. Now you can turn them in for a level, right? Or you have an opportunity to perhaps roll for a level, right? You may not level every time you get a full set of all of the chromatic dragons, right? And then last, so I'm using Magic the Gathering, all right? And I'm going to expand on that. I think I'm going to be using even more Magic the Gathering because actually, I hadn't thought about this previously, but there's actually some really cool modern Magic the Gathering sets with modern settings like Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. So I'm going to go ahead check out the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty set. In addition to that, I didn't know this. Are you aware of this? There are 700 secret lair drop cards, all which have a wide array of material that is not actually fantasy based and actually might be more logically based for an IRL Earth campaign. In addition to that, I'm going, for the first time ever, I'm going to crack open D&D Yahtzee. And so any weapon that does 1d6 damage, I'm going to allow the player characters to earn D&D Yahtzee D6s, and these will can be when you first get them, right? There'll be an ability attached to them, and you can re-roll any ones you roll with the D6s, and then the second tier will be exploding on the 6 itself, right? And so they'll be able to earn these Yahtzee D6s and actually include them directly into their dice pools, right? So my tangible campaign, my integrated tangible campaign construction palette will include 3 of the 6 possible physical product lines for Dungeons and Dragons. I am choosing to specifically use Lego, Magic the Gathering, and Yahtzee, all official D&D products designed to be used within the Dungeons and Dragons game. And then I am going to, because I understand that players are going to have a hard time keeping up with my dungeon mastering, I'm going to specifically actively choose not to use Creo, not to use Funko Pop, and not to use, what was the other one? Kid Robot, right? So I'm going to leave those off the table for right now. Don't want to overwhelm the players. I think a 3-pronged physical product line platform for my integrated tangible campaign construction should do the job. That's my plan. What do you think? Do you think I have the palette wrong and that I should take some of those physical product lines out and put in others of the 6? Would you use a different mix? And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Oh, and I have to say this before I go. I'm actually thinking about integrating them and building Lego containers to hold and frame and set different values on the magic cards and on the Yahtzee dice. So that's one of the greatest things about tangible campaign construction is it literally moves you from, once you've mastered, if you're like me and you've mastered the Dungeons and Dragons rule set, this allows you to move past that and to have ideas literally built, so that you can expand the rules in new physical directions that less cool dungeon masters just aren't ready for. I'm eager to hear your ideas. How should I change what I just said? Or is that it's perfect, right? Or am I wrong? And there's some adjustments. I can't wait to hear your ideas and your adjustments that you would give me. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.